Great Mother speaks to us through us. And in these readings on a collective unconscious level, in the shadows she casts in each moon phase, chakra, variant god, and goddess energy, and seen from The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy's narrative, the poster child of Mama Drama Trauma, as illustrated in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck, based on the 49 scenes of her journey to live MDT free. What is MDT? Mama Drama Trauma is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases when the mother is unwilling, unable, or unavailable to heal, it is my recommendation as a professional life coach to live in loving detachment. And this is what my work does. I support people in living in loving detachment. This is the most basic, most fundamental type of loving detachment, but it's useful in all phases of our life. For more information about that, you can click the information box below. And if you would like to learn more about this deck and how to work with it to develop your empathic and or intuitive abilities to live in loving detachment, check the information box below where you see how to read deck classes. Each new moon begins a new emotional healing cycle. Here we focus on MDT. Great Mother speaks to each sign about the supportive energies available to it as a collective consciousness and offers guidance for internal activation of this subtle yet powerful support. Look for your special Great Mother Speaks reading, especially for your sign's new moon, to hear how to further enhance the success of your new lunar year plans and wishes. These readings are entitled Sun in Your Moon Sign Readings. Where was the moon when you were born? This new moon, a partial solar eclipse, is on the cusp of Aquarius, Pisces. The Western ego, emotion, earth-centric moon is conjunct Venus and the South Node, bringing to light Piscean tendencies to control emotions for the highest good of the group, social network, or friends, assuming one knows what that is. While the intuitive downloads from the Capricorn moon and the Sidereal cosmically correct soul astrology may be bringing up a need to finesse the current situation more to your benefit by shrewdly releasing those people-pleasing qualities unconsciously responsible for creating relationship and group dynamic problems in the first place. For instance, instead of modifying your behavior to prevent a perceived negative outcome, lighten up. Imagine yourself at peace no matter what happens instead. If this seems far-fetched, perhaps you are over-relying on the buy-in and approval of others at this time, and the energies are pointing to a need to redefine the terms of your health, wholeness, and happiness by taking full responsibility for your thoughts, decisions, and actions, dictating the terms of your experience of this birthright. This is what this partial solar eclipse is all about. This Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, new moon energy is dealing with whatever remaining internal MDT issues came up for release during the lunar eclipse, this past full moon reading. They are now externally shining their light in the Aquarius sun and spilling over into your life in ways you are now more equipped to address. Great Mother's lunar south node energies at the Aquarius cusp and in K2, the sidereal south node conjunct Capricorn, gives us poise, grace, and the ability to admit and articulate our most sincere wants and needs to ourselves and others in practical yet loving ways. Because a partial solar eclipse, Great Mother Moon, does not totally eclipse the sun's shadows will not be felt as intensely. Great Father expressed as physical action and material life, the law, the logos, the word, in the masculine sign of Aquarius will be powerfully felt with Mercury's solar conjunction in Aquarius in both the Western and Sidereal astrology, emphasizing the abundance of support available to us all for graciousness, beautiful, and loving communication exchanges. Great Mother is subtle, unseen. She is, in fact, the comforter, the Holy Spirit the Christ spoke of, that still small voice, our intuition, knowing what we know we know. Of course, emotions is how the ego communicates to its higher self, and intuition is how the soul communicates to the ego. Great Mother is the moon, especially this new moon version of the sun and the moon in the same sign, when she is embracing the earth in the blackness of her bosom. To reduce her to only mere emotion is to not recognize her sheer energy of uncontrollable freedom, darkness, and mystery she is within us. That still unfamiliar, little understood, or even known birthright of happiness, wholeness, and health we intuitively cling to, and why we are here to hear from her through the signs and symbols of this birth moon reading. All right, Virgo, Libra moon people, astrology, your soul astrology moon sign is in Virgo, unless you are about a fifth of the people where your moon sign in the Western is the same as Sidereal. You might want to check out the Scorpio moon sign reading if that's the case for you and see which one resonates with you the most. Of course, the astrology is the study of the cosmos. It is really for and from a soul Great Mother perspective, the study of how spirit comes into form and how spirit has its unique evolutionary path. Each soul is a unique personification of the spirit of the Great Mother, Father, God. And that's why we're gods and goddesses. That's what the gods and goddess archetypes symbolize in this deck. And of course, we are too divine children of the Great Mother, Father, God, which makes us gods and goddesses. So the gods and goddesses of the Virgo elk are going to hear what Great Mother has to say to you on a soul level. This new moon is touching you in the 5th house. That Capricorn moon in the sidereal is where you are, and it is in your 5th house, Libra moon people, Aquarius. That self-expression, right? You know, that ability to have fun and kind of a childlike reverence or irreverence about life, and just really taking the bull by the horns. That Virgo energy can kind of cause a little bit of conflict with that, with a little bit more seriousness, a little bit more detail orientation. And so we're looking at a soul expression for this new moon period that is wanting to get more into that 5th house energy, more into that enjoyment of life, right? That self-expression, which is what our North Node is in the Western. Okay, the Leo North Node is where our collective soul is evolving to. And the South Node is in Aquarius. And so the South Node moon, the South Node sun in Aquarius is the release of Aquarian qualities that no longer serve that self-expression, and maybe for you a little bit more fun, Virgo, Libra moon people. Let's see what Great Mother is saying to you about where you are right now in your evolutionary journey. Each lunar cycle has its own signature, and you're approaching this new moon with integrity. You have, since over the last several days, 2 or 3 days since the balsamic moon phase, you've been telling yourself the truth about something. You have recently come through a journey in which you have regained a great deal of power. You have, in fact, taken your power back from a situation that used to maybe hold you captive in some way, oppress you in some way, suppress who you are in some way. But you know, when we pray for guidance and direction, love leads the way, and your heart really did follow that guidance, Virgo, Libra Moon people. And Saturn is, you know, working with you energetically here as well, because it's in your 4th house. And so it has been really helping you to get really clear about that domestic support, which is so important. We talk about 4th house being maternal and everything. And of course, we deal with that here on the Great Mother Speaks channel. And we can sometimes forget that the reason it's so important is because it's the foundation of everything that we do. It is where we receive the support to go out into the world, you know, to express ourselves. And so integrity is the ability to tell ourselves the truth. And that's how you're approaching this new moon. You have that ability, and you've gained that through taking your power back. What Great Mother is saying to you with regard to this, because this is Aquarius Pisces cusp, and this energy is really kind of looking at the formation of your spiritual expression at this time, and the transformational opportunity for you in this new lunar cycle is to really receive the support of the Christ consciousness that is on the planet right now. That dispensation is about 2,000 years old, and depending on whether you go by Western astrology or Sidereal astrology, it is either between the last 30, 50 years or so, or the next 257 or so years, where Aquarius moves into the new era. And the Pisces era was the Jesus era, and that's the heart chakra era. And so you have all this heart chakra energy. You've been following your heart. You've been guided by love to overcome an oppressive situation. And as a result of that, you've integrated the lessons, and that's why you have integrity. And Great Mother is saying that the transformative opportunity before you is all about you being able to receive the blessing and the adulation of the journey that you've had through the law of soul guidance and guardian. This is the Jesus card, the single yang card, and all of the yin yang symbol cards are law cards. Great Father is the law, the logos, the word, the action, the solar active energy. And this law card is the yin symbol, and it is the Jesus card, the law of soul guidance and guardian. You are being encouraged to receive that guidance and that guardianship to move forward with what you've learned and with what you know. Great Father energy is in Aquarius now. The new moon is always in the same sign, and we do have a new playlist when the sun is in your moon sign. It deals with the new moon, and so you will have some aspects of that, but for every sign, when the sun is in your moon sign, there is an additional message Great Mother wants to give you about the energies that are specifically supporting you and your lunar new year, which for you will be in the Libra solar season. This is a third quarter moon card, which is a release, let go, forgiveness card. So the transformation has to do with releasing anything that does not allow you to receive this additional guidance and guardianship. See, you've already, with this heart chakra balsamic moon card, okay, the balsamic moon is right before the new moon, and so that's why I can say over the last several days you have been receiving downloads about confirming what you know. Integrity is telling ourselves the truth, and so you've been receiving confirmations about that and downloads about that already. And that's how you're approaching this new moon. But the transformative opportunity seems to be that you go forward with that integrity. This is an indication that what you now know is different than what you've known in the past. Even though you have been following your heart guidance, or you've been following love and you've been trusting it, you've learned something. And instead of resting on those laurels, she's encouraging you to transform in this new lunar season and integrating that knowledge and living by that new awareness. Not just kind of knowing it, not just kind of continuing to reflect on it and mulling around with it, but immediately planting the seeds in this lunar season and just trusting that you are going to receive the guidance and the protection that you need. This Aquarius sun, this great father energy, this is a great father card, this yin card, this Aquarius energy is, it's in your 6th house from the Virgo Sidereal. And that is on a soul level. You are receiving downloads about how to balance your home life. Okay, so we're talking about with the Saturn being in your 4th house, that means that you're being kind of worked over about this support to go out into the world and share what you know. And so, having said that, it's very important to be able to integrate that awareness in your work-life balance, your internal emotional balance, your health balance, your diet, and your soul is giving you directives as to how to do that, because that Aquarius sun in the sidereal and in the western in your 6th house is conjunct Mercury. And so that's how we know that you are receiving soul downloads. And so you are receiving soul guidance. Okay, you are receiving soul guidance. You are energetically receiving soul guidance and indications of how you're being protected with your health and your diet. Things about what maybe you are allergic to, or things to possibly begin to incorporate in your diet so that your physical balance is there. Work-life balance, how to better manage your time, what's worth your time and what's not worth your time, because the nakshatra that both Aquarius and Mercury are in, always the Sun and Mercury are very close together, and in this case they're sharing the same nakshatra of Dhanishta. And this solar energy is all about being vivacious and gregarious and social, and a real winning kind of a aura about you. And so with that 6th house energy, it's not like it's a challenge. A lot of times when we think about, I need to balance my diet, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I'm really getting into intuitive downloads that I need to do this, and it can be kind of like, I don't want to do that, But with this energy in Dhanishta, it's like, hey, and what groups can I join on Meetup or in my church, or, I heard my friends on Facebook were doing this new diet with Ayurvedic, food, and let me see about that. It's that kind of energy, Virgo, Libra Moon people. And so she's saying that heart energy, enjoy your new perception and enjoy sharing that new perception. Pisces is in your 4th house, and so again, that's really supporting that home base as well. Venus is conjunct Pisces, they're with you, and that is with you in your 5th house. And so getting back to that self-expression, that unique self-expression. So you have a lot of 4th, 5th, and 6th house energy going on here that is really culminating with this Aquarius in the South Node in the Western. And so emotionally, there is a big let go. And so Great Mother does not want you to overlook the fact that the law, you have 2 law cards right next to each other here. The Ankh is the breath of life, and the Ankh card in the Great Mother Speaks deck symbolizes the 2nd chakra. However, the Ankh law card is the law of ego form and manifestation. That is the law of the purpose of the soul's incarnation that fulfills that purpose, as long as the ego makes the free will choice to do so. That's the law of ego form and manifestation. We all have ego forms, but we don't all manifest the soul purpose. This is a double yin, single yang card. And so that's that double yin, not only the single yin of receiving soul guidance and manifestation, which is what the Jesus card is, and that's very important to be able to receive that. A double yin card is reception on that level, but it's also reception of great mother intuitive energy. So actually not just receiving the guidance, but that single yang indicates action on that guidance. This is a third eye law card. This is a heart chakra law card. So you're going from heart chakra, okay, fourth chakra, to fifth chakra. This 4, 5, 6 energy is so strong with you, Virgo, Libra Moon people. And so she doesn't want you to overlook the importance of acting again on your intuition, on what you know, not resting on the laurels of the experience, but actually acting on those new perceptions, those new ideas, those new experiences that you've had to inform your life now. What she is really saying with this approach to the new moon is that there is a wild woman element that is coming out in you as a part of this integrity, as symbolized by the goddess Baba Yaga, the Slavic goddess whose house is a wooden shack on chicken legs. But she's very wise. And for you, Virgo, Libra Moon people, this new moon card and the fifth chakra is very important for this new moon and how you're approaching it with this integrity you've been downloading over several days. And now with the new moon, this is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when the three and Dorothy entered the dark forest on their way to the witch's castle. And there's a sign that says, "I wouldn't go past this sign if I were you." And that is all about the dark night of the soul before we take our power back, which is what the broom symbolizes and what Oz told the three and Dorothy they had to bring him for their wishes to be fulfilled. This is all about you using what you've learned, Virgo, Libra Moon people, in order to transcend what is presented to you as an impossibility, as something that you can't accomplish, as a disempowering move on the behalf of someone else to defeat you. I'm not sure that I said that right, but what I'm trying to share with you is that this new moon fifth chakra card is all about you speaking truth to power. They walked right on past that sign. Now, it wasn't too long after it, the flying monkeys came and picked up Toto, who symbolizes Dorothy's intuition in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. But having said that, all's well that ends well. She's saying speak truth to power. And there's no indication that you're really coming up against anything here, which indicates to me with this new moon being such a fourth, fifth house power center for you, domesticity, that foundation that you need to go out into the world. Fifth house, express yourself. Sixth house, have a daily life that's worth living, daily work that's meaningful to you, that you just speak that into your daily life. You speak that with your family, you speak that based on this earned integrity from this journey that you've had to overcome oppression, that you begin to speak it. This is what Great Mother's saying to you. She's saying to you that, don't just let that experience just kind of sit over here by the side. Actually begin to integrate it verbally into your life and share with people like, hey, in the past, I used to so-and-so, and I used to let, signs that told me haunted forest, castle, I'd turn back if I were you, to turn me back. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign up for this Spanish class, and I'm going to learn Spanish. I've been living in Florida for I don't know how long, and I know I can learn it because I knew it when I was little, and just go right on with it.
You know, Virgo, Libra Moon people. That's what Great Mother's saying. She's saying that don't overlook the law of ego form and manifestation. You've got the power. You got the power. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. And so these are 2 third quarter moon cards. Those are release cards, let go, forgiveness cards. And so let go. Work with that south node energy of Aquarius, of letting go of those Aquarian qualities that do not serve your self-expression. You can see that's a 5th chakra there in the middle of this new moon. It's a 5th chakra card. Things that don't serve your 5th house needs. And again, Saturn is in your 5th house right now, and so it's working with you to be very clear about what your true, that integrity expression is. And so what are Aquarian qualities that we might want to release? Well, Aquarius is known for being humanitarian, innovative, it has genius, and all of these wonderful things. Can be humorous, quite good at divination, and groups and friends, and loves surprises and that sort of thing. Very forthright and direct in its communication, very intelligent. And so what could we possibly be wanting to release as a collective consciousness in Aquarius, and for you that being in your 5th house with the moon, not carry into our integrity, and our ego form and manifestation of our soul. Those are all good things. Well, sometimes we can be a little bit too innovative. So whenever we look at qualities of signs, just think of it, of the aspect of if it goes too far and it's out of balance. If you're too innovative, if you're too unique, and you're too into surprises and manifesting and divination and everything like that, to a way that people can't connect with you in a meaningful way, then that's being too eccentric. And I can identify with that. I understand that, myself. And so that's something that I have to work really hard at. And so for me, that is the aspect of Aquarius that I would release during this eclipse season. For you, it might be, the aspect of Aquarius that is always seeking knowledge. That's why they're so intelligent. They love to learn. What's the South Node about that? Well, you learn and learn and learn so much that you become somebody that is an eternal skeptic. Because you know that you're going to learn something new around the corner. So you don't, trust anything type of thing, It can be like that. So you just kind of go through there and see. You can be too humanitarian that you become a people pleaser, and that's why the work-life balance isn't working out. You see what I'm saying? And so use this ability to tell yourself the truth that you have hard earned, that you have won through this journey, and integrate that, like Great Mother is saying. Move past that fear of being perceived as a wild woman, or even being perceived as eccentric. It's not about how other people perceive you, and that's why I say, that one in particular I have to work with. It's not my concern how I'm perceived per se. The concern is that when you're working with Baba Yaga, the wild woman, or an imbalance such as that, and speaking of Aquarius, the wild woman is an energy that we all possess. And that is that 5th house energy, that playful child that just wants to run around and just has this exuberant energy. And, it's a bull in a china shop type of energy. And it means no harm. But it will cause harm if it's not allowed to be expressed. And a parent that can appreciate that is not going to keep a child that has that energy coursing through their veins in the house. They're going to take that child out into a playground somewhere. It's going to, and that's what we have to do when we self-mother. We have to recognize what our needs are. And that's what the wild woman energy coming through for you is saying, Virgo, Libra Moon people. You have that right now energetically with this 4th, 5th house energy going on. And she has to be expressed. Or just like that child that's cooped up in a house that has that energy coursing through his veins, is going to express that energy in inappropriate and inopportune ways and times. It's just not going to be a good experience, when Baba Yaga can actually be a very wonderful cleansing experience. The shadow of this new moon for you is coming up through Great Mother as a resistance to opening up to this. And so maybe for you, at this particular time, it's kind of scary to integrate these new awarenesses into your life. You're just kind of, finding yourself back home with this new power, and you don't know that you have all this support. Aren't you glad that you tuned into this reading? But you know now, okay, once a rubber band has been expanded, it never goes back to its original shape. And you're not going to go back either, because Sheila Nagig is all about opening that heart chakra in such a way that you also acknowledge the heart breaking. That's why it's a shadow. Virgo, Libra Moon people. It's a shadow because it is breaking your heart that a part of your life is over. And although it may have been oppressive, and although you have taken your power back from a situation, there are some remnants of regret and thinking that maybe things could have gone differently. Maybe the relationship, for example, didn't have to end like Dorothy and the Wicked Witch. Maybe, I didn't have to kill the person, wouldn't be that case, like in the movie where she had to, she didn't even realize that water would harm the witch, but when she doused her with the water, it did. And that's what happened with you. You doused that situation with water, and you didn't know that it was going to turn out the way it did, but that's how spirit works. We cannot read into it to that degree where we can anticipate and we can predict to the nth degree. That would be idiocy. If we could, it would drive us crazy, because there would be no point to it. And so the heartbreaking is the shadow for you, and Great Mother is saying that you're dancing with embracing it. You're dancing with whether or not to own the beauty of what you've had to do to get your power back. So this fifth chakra, waning gibbous moon card, is about having the gratitude for expressing yourself. You needed to express yourself. Your truth, it was time for it to come through. The time had come for the truth of who you are and for the truth of what you have to offer the world to be known and to be expressed. Virgo, Libra Moon people. And that's exactly what you did. And that is your birthright, to do so. And that's what you did. So go ahead and let go of any concerns that don't allow you to adhere. You have another Great Father card. Now this is the double yang card. The double yang card is the card about taking action to do what you have been guided to do. And that guidance may not necessarily be very clear. And isn't that interesting that it's underneath the Jesus card, which is the law of soul guidance and guardian? So you're receiving this soul guidance as your transformative opportunity, this lunar cycle, and you're using that guidance to express your wild woman, move beyond any fears that other people may be projecting onto you. And you're doing that in a way that's activating Mother Mary, the law of Divine Father. And the law of Divine Father is yang energy. Okay? That double yin energy is Great Mother inspired soul energy. That double yang energy is inspired action. Okay, and that's that Mother Mary energy, that inspired action, that inspired childbirthing, and that inspired project birthing, new life birthing, integrating of my power in my life birthing. So let go of anything that is preventing you from doing that, because whatever is preventing you from doing that is also preventing you from clearly receiving, clearly hearing the guidance that you're receiving from Jesus and the law of soul guidance and guardianship. Jesus is, over the entire angelic realm. And, our angels and our guides and our ancestors, they give us guidance all the time. And it can be blocked by not being focused on receiving that energy. And a lot of times just by the ignorance that we are being guided at all. And that's why this is your transformational opportunity during this new moon, to realize that and to act on that guidance. Great Mother's saying that when you do that, you're going to find that this process of releasing those blocks is going to be facilitated by Kuan Yin, self-compassion. So all of this heart chakra energy, which is 4th chakra, home, okay, 5th chakra energy, the throat, self-expression, okay, we have the heart chakra crescent moon, that's right after the new moon. And so she's saying that as soon as you kind of recognize maybe what the players are doing in your life, who they are, that you are receiving these messages about don't go past this forest. Now remember, you have to go past the dark forest to get the broom. Well, you've already come back from that journey. And so Great Mother is kind of hearkening you back to remember that you've been through that before, Virgo, Libra Moon people, and you've come through it. That's what you've lived to tell about it. So just because it may seem a little scary, okay, the lion's jumping out of Oz's window in the castle after they asked for what they wanted. You know, he was scared. You know, he told him, you got to go get the broom, and he jumped out the window. Open your heart and just let it break about the fear. Just let it break. Just let yourself be scared for a moment, but embody the energy while you do it. Heart chakra, with self-compassion. Don't judge yourself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't judge yourself. And as you love on yourself and you don't judge yourself, and remember, this is the scene in the movie when Dorothy meets the 3 on the yellow brick road. Well, she's met the scarecrow, but then she meets, you know, the Tin Man and then the lion. That's self-compassion. How was she able to incorporate these unseeming characters into her life? You know, because she could see them in herself. She didn't judge them. She knew she was a little loopy. You know, she didn't know what was going on. It was confusing. Twister Dream and Munchkins. And she knew that she was mad at Aunt M, Mama Drama Trauma, questioning whether or not she had a heart. Felt bad. Aunt M had taken her in, her surrogate mother, loving her the best way she could. But she was mad about them taking Toto, who symbolizes intuition. The heart is the crossroads between the ego and the soul. The ego communicates to the soul through emotion. The soul communicates to us, the ego, through our intuition. And so that's that crossroads. And so intuitively she knew that she needed courage. She needed her heart. And so she didn't judge them. Don't judge yourself. And by doing this, the final outcome for you will be accepting your feelings. You're new. This experience has changed you. And that's wonderful. That's outstanding. That's admirable. You have the courage to do what most really can't wrap their hands around. These 4th, 5th house, 6th house energies are extremely challenging energies because they are the foundational ego energies that have to be healthy in order to sustain a strong spiritual life. Okay, and so these are the bottom of the wheel, 1 through 6. And then 7 through 10 are the upper part of the wheel into the upper evolutionary and reflective houses of the lower houses. And this gut chakra full moon card is, you know, when Dorothy asked Glinda, the good witch in Munchkin Land, what is the way home? Which way do I go to get home? And so she was accepting her feelings. Yes, I've come this far in the journey. I've left the farm, but where the heck am I? You guys are nice and everything, but I want to go home. And you've made it home. Great Mother wants you to own it. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking as you see fit. This is the study of the soul's journey. You know, astrology lets us know how the spirit comes into form, and each lunar cycle has its own formation of cosmic energies, and this is how they are working and how they are manifesting through you at this time. Remember that if you would like an even more personal perspective on this and how Great Mother can assist you with your personal cosmic calculus and how to determine what will work best in your situations, feel free to contact me in the links below. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.